Hello, everybody. It is Jackie from Pocket of Preschool, and I am so excited you are here with us. So we are going to share I'm going to talk all about Olympic-themed activities. I'm going to show some things that are like Olympics, so you could do it winter or summer, and then I'm going to show you guys some specific summer Olympic activities and some specific winter Olympic activities. And then also, don't forget when you're doing like an Olympics, whether it's like winter or summer Olympic theme, you can also do all of those like USA activities too. So like anything like 4th of July-ish is a really good time, or like around those like USA holidays is a really good time to find all of the like America, USA themed props and plates, like all of that stuff at the Dollar Tree. So we're just gonna jump right in. So on my site, I have links, and there is a blog post for sports, so you can get a lot of ideas there. There's also a blog post for Olympics, and then there's a blog post for a sports book list. So that really has books for all of the sports, whether it's winter or summer. So you can check all that out on the blog or in my store to grab any of the printables. So we're just gonna keep going. So again, grab the units that you need. We wanna do a lot of like gross motor games, right? Because that's what the Olympics are. It's all about sports, right? I'll show you those in a minute. So one of the things I love to do is make ribbon bracelets. They're super easy to make. These I just found at like the Dollar Tree. So just grab some like either silicone or plastic bracelets, and then tie ribbons to them. They don't have to be like the big, beautiful, fancy ones. They can be the little cheap ones. You can do any color you want. And then you give each kid one, and they can dance with it. And you can dance high and low, or they can dance however they want. You can have them do different arm movements, like circles. You can have them go like front and back. It's great to do like with opposites. But these are great. I love using ribbon bracelets for music and movement time, and how I store them is when I hand them out, they each get one, and then I literally stand like this, and they put their bracelets on my finger, and then I hook them with a like binder clip, and I hook them to like, you know, put these on a hook somewhere in your classroom. This is my new set that I have that are all pretty, but this is the set I made when I first started teaching, and they're still great. They're just a little like rattered, like they're just a little, they're loved is really all it is. But like I just had for this set I made like a bazillion years ago, like probably 15 years ago. It has like purple and yellow and blue, and this is that ribbon that you use for like presents. So that's what I had, so that's what I used. And again, I had 18 kiddos when I had taught full day, so I think there's 20 in here. So they last, make one set and they last forever, but they are so much fun. So make a set of ribbon bracelets. And then also, you want to make a set of pom-poms. So this is a great fine motor activity. So what you're going to have them do is dot or color a paper bag. And then once it's dry, you can have them, you can write lines on the back, or they can just kind of cut up. And so it kind of looks like an octopus, but what you're going to do is you're going to fold it together and staple it, and then you got like little pom-poms. And then you can use these all year long, again, during music and movement. And they're really fun. And they're cheap, they're free. Well, as much as the paper bags cost, but super fun. And then, because I think cheerleading is an Olympic sport now, which is so well deserved because it's hard and it looks amazing. That's one of my favorite things to watch is cheerleading. So I know you're shocked, right? Because I don't look like a cheerleader at all. I did poms, so FYI. But I love the cheerleaders too. So another thing you can do is ice skating. Obviously this would be more in a winter Olympics, but paper plates, they put them on their feet, and then they just slide around. They keep their shoes on. Let me move this. They keep their shoes on their feet, and then they slide around. I usually just play a song, and they can kind of skate around the classroom. Again, buy one set, and you can have them for a very long time, and they're great. So ribbons, ice skating, pom-poms. What else do I have? Also, you can do obstacle courses. So grab cones and they can like run around. You can have any kind of like little mats so they can jump over, around, on, do that. And then you can also, I like to use pool noodles to, and put them in between chairs so they can go under, crawl under them. Because if the pool noodle falls, it's no big deal. It won't like hurt them or anything. And then if you have like a balance beam, you can add that. You can make a DIY balance beam. I literally took a 2x4 and I cut it shorter. Well, I didn't cut it, but I use like get a saw and cut it shorter, and then I cover it in duct tape so you don't get any splinters. And we have a small balance beam that's pretty cheap. That's great. Or if you have one that's like store-bought, that works awesome too. Or any like tunnels you have, those are really, you know, make the most amazing or most simple obstacle course you want. And then, what else? Bean bags. Don't forget about using all the bean bags. Ball skills are great for working on hand-eye coordination, having both sides of the body work together because they have to catch them. These are really little. They just have letters on them. But you can use any bean bags that you have. So they can like throw them across to each other. Like the kids stand across, like one line here, one line of kids here, and they throw them across. You can also have them just throw them up and catch them. Up and catch them. And they'll drop them. There's a whole bunch of really fun beanbag songs where it says like, you know, balance it on your shoulder and balance it on your head, balance on your foot. And so search YouTube balance beam songs and or beanbag songs, and there's a whole bunch there. And it helps them with following directions and self-regulation because they have to do what the song tells them to do with the beanbag. Yeah, and then my most favorite thing of all is using beach balls in the classroom. So these are like a laundry bag, and this is how I keep my beach balls. And then I have this, and then have enough so, you know, there's, you know, like, I don't know, 10. When I had 18 kids, I would like throw 10 out, and they are literally just like bouncing them back and forth. And if a beach ball hits the wall, it's fine. Like, it's not really going to break that much. Things will get knocked over, but it's okay because it's a nice beach ball. It's also great because beach balls are about, like, little kids need to learn how to catch with a bigger ball because what they do first is they trap. So they will catch it, but they trap it first, and then they'll start catching it outside of their body with just their hands. So beach balls are really fun for that. And again, you can use them inside all the time. Also, if you can turn this into a soccer game by grabbing a laundry basket, put it on the floor, and they just have to kick them. There's no goalie. It is not a coordinated effort. It is just we are kicking the beach balls all over the place, loving life, and trying to get it in the net. There's no goalie. There's no teams. It's just coordinated chaos. Now, that would be summer, right, for soccer. If you're doing Winter Olympics, turn it into hockey. These are my pool noodle gross motor sticks. Cut your pool noodles in half. Then they can, like, you know, obviously this isn't, like, it's really cute. But they would stand up and they would hit the beach balls all over with hockey sticks. You can talk about rules, no high sticks. So the hockey sticks have to stay below your shoulders. You know, they're not swords. But I really never had too big of an issue with kiddos hitting each other. Again, not horrible, but it happens. They're little and they look like they're fun. And also if they do hit each other, it doesn't hurt that bad. So, and then also don't forget your goal. So we got our goal, our hockey stick, our hockey puck, and they can hit it in the net. So fun. So, or, you could also do, what is it, lacrosse? Right? No, not lacrosse. Lacrosse doesn't have sticks. Is it field hockey? Field hockey is summer, right? So do all of that for all of your gross motor fun. And then also don't forget about, too, if you have the beach balls or like a ball like this or little ball, this would be tricky to use a little one, but have the kiddos sit on the ground across from each other and have them open their legs, and they can roll the ball to one friend, roll, and then they roll back. Roll it, and then roll it back. Right? Sounds simple, but it's a little tricky. So, just really fun way to, Olympics is a really fun theme to do a lot of those like ball activities with. So, let's keep going. So now let's do some fine motor. So I have some golf tees. And I'm not gonna lie, I can't remember if golf is an Olympic sport. But, so if it is, great. If not, we're just gonna pretend this is just like a game with balls. Because a lot of the sports have balls. So they are gonna take the golf tees and they are gonna poke them in, if they can do that. Or you can grab some hammers or like a small wood block, and they can tap, tap, tap them in. And then what they're gonna do is balance a ping pong ball on them. It's kind of tricky because it has to be super, super flat for it to balance. Now, if you don't have a bunch of ping pong balls, it's totally fine. Use pom-poms, big ones, little ones, whatever you have, whatever works. They can match the colors if they want, which I wasn't doing, but they can. So you can now make it a color matching game. And it's a little tricky, but obviously super fun. And you can, again, just pom-poms, pool noodles cut in half, and golf tees and pom-poms, ping pong balls. Now, I also said that you can use all of your USA themed activities. So I have some pipe cleaners here. They're like USA colors. And I have some straws. Again, you can find a lot of these like USA, like red, white, and blue straws and things during like 4th of July or those holidays. And then all they're gonna do is they can cut them, which is again working on scissor skills, and then they can lace them. Now they can keep them, or this is just an activity where they put them on, lace it up, and then they can take them off. And then I also, if you have any star beads, like red, white, and blue star beads, you can use these too. I typically, with my preschool and pre-K kiddos, I lace on a pipe cleaner because it is more firm and it's not as frustrating as a lace. And also I feel like the strings kind of, they like kind of break apart at the end, which can be really, really frustrating. So try using pipe cleaners. If you have kinder, you can use like a lacing type of string, but those are kind of frustrating sometimes for littler kiddos. So do some red, white, and blue lacing. And again, we're gonna keep all of those. We're gonna grab some plates during like the 4th of July and just write a letter on them and then spread them out. You can't really see, but this one is A, and then you just put out whatever manipulatives your students love to sort. And maybe you have out the letter tiles, letter beads, or magnet letters, and literally just put your bucket of magnet letters at one end and letter tiles or whatever letters you want to use, and they're literally just going to sort them. You could also do, sometimes the Dollar Tree has these star plates in gold and silver, which would be really fun because, you know, they get gold, silver, and bronze medals at the Olympics. So you can also add in those colors. So you can make letter plates and sort the letters. And then also if you want to do beginning sounds, add those beginning sound magnets out, and now they're sorting by sound. You can also make these plates into puzzles. So put a quantity on one side and a number on the other, and they have to match them. So there's 2, 3, and so on. 5, oh gosh. Okay, and I typically try and cut them a little bit different, so that way it's kind of self-checking. So you have your number plates, and again, you can get the silver and gold ones as well for the Olympics because they get all of those beautiful medals. Okay, so another fine motor activity. This is in the summer games. They can make medals. Like, how cute are these? So what they're gonna do is you give them a circle. They're gonna cut it out, and they can use regular scissors or bounce back scissors, which just bounce back open. They're gonna cut out their circle, and then I cut some foil in strips, and what they're gonna do is they are going to cut these pieces of foil into strips and glue it on top, and then I have this little athlete, and they write their name, and if you need to put out, and they can cut that out too, or you can put out the name cards. I do uppercase on one side. Oh, maybe not that one. Sorry. Uppercase on one side, lowercase on the other. Because if they're 3, we are doing lowercase first because their little hands are not ready for all of those tricky letters yet. So, and then you can grab some red, white, and blue ribbon, and now you have, oh, I can't fit it over my head, but a little medal, which is really fun. So it's like a name and fine motor cutting activity for the Olympics. And again, this is in the Summer Olympics unit. So there's that activity. And then this is a literacy activity. So you can play it 2 ways. So take some popsicle sticks and tape them together so it makes a hockey stick. Now again, I think field hockey is a summer sport, I think. And then what you're gonna do, so if it's summer, put a piece of green paper in there. And these are just, these are like some button counters I had, and I wrote, letters on them. Can you see? And what they're gonna do is they can literally, they would say M, and one kid would sit over here, one kid would sit over here, and they would just hit it to each other. So M, T, K. Now, if it's Winter Olympics, it is now ice hockey. Okay. And again, they're just going to be hitting them back and forth to each other, saying the letter sound. We got some G, G, N, F, W. Okay, super simple. Great fun. And again, if you don't have these button counters, find any like circle chip that is a little bit thicker, and you can now have a field hockey or an ice hockey game depending on which Olympics it is, winter or summer. Now you're gonna need a writing center. So here's what I have for you. This is the summer games I'm showing you. So we have, and these would be in a pocket chart. My pocket chart is like right where my body is. It's against the wall. So I have uppercase vocabulary cards in the pocket chart. And then you can have, I also have lowercase. And again, there's a lot of them, because there's so many summer Olympic sports. So there's a ton in the winter sports too. And then these little stars are great to put out, or you can just put out sports. I have the Olympic ring colors for my dot markers, and then I have some paper. And then at the back, you can either put it at the back, and I have I just grabbed one of the letter formation worksheets. So you can either put this at the back, or if you want to put them in a dry erase pocket, you can do that too. Sometimes you can do dry erase, sometimes you can do a worksheet, and just put those in the back, or you can put them kind of off to the side with a dry erase marker, whatever you want to do. And then the fun freebie I have for you. Hold on, I'll move these. Okay. Oh, there we go. So I have it for winter and summer. So we have these little posters. So for the summer games, we have 3 different ones with all of the summer games. And then for the winter games, we have 2 different options. So we didn't put years on them because then you would get it and you would have to like keep going back to the website to reprint it. So there isn't a year on here. We did leave a space so you could put a year on here, or you could have the students write it in, or like a space for their name. But they can just color it, or you can put out like those temper paint sticks, which are just like a paint stick, kind of like it's like a glue stick, but they're paint. That would be really fun for this too. This would be fun to put out like morning table time or a morning arrival activity, just to kind of get their hands moving and going. But again, this is a freebie. Go up to where, or down, wherever the links are. Click the, it's the Olympics blog post. So go to the blog with the link on this video, and then click the Olympic post, and this will be there for you guys. So fun. Okay, so we're gonna keep going with more literacy. So again, I'm gonna show you some summer and some winter. So this is obviously a summer because it's a pool. So we have all of these letter cards for all the different swimming events. We have like divers and swimmers, a whole bunch. So they pick a card, and then they can write it in the pool. And then I love using a pom-pom to erase. One, because they have to grab it with their pincer muscles, so it's still working on that pincer grasp, and it's just great that way. They could also build it with like Play-Doh, but I love dry erase markers. They're so fun, and kids love them too. Now, you can also, there are also these little cards in there for sight words. So another option would be to tape a pipe cleaner to it, because it's kind of like the water. So they could lace the sight word with beads. You could also, if you wanted to, tape a pipe cleaner to this, and they could lace the letter bead on to match. And if you have preschool, you would want to use a bead that's bigger than this. That would be too hard for them. Like I have like bigger letter beads that are from Lakeshore. They're probably about that big. Those would be perfect for this. So you can, cause it's, you know, it's the wave in the pool. So fun. So that's an option to do, or you can just have them pick a sight word letter and they can write their sight word in the pool too. Totally up to you. Maybe your kids love lacing. Maybe they love dry erase. You pick what you want to do on what your kiddos like. And this is in the summer games set or unit. Now, I kind of have the same thing for the winter. So we have our winter sight words, and they would lace the beads on there. It's like here's they would do T, and then H, and then they would find the E bead. And I have like a silver pipe cleaner because it's like snow and ice and all of these really fun. There are blank ones too if you want to write their names on them, and there's blank ones in the summer games one too. And then this one, instead of having a pool, this one has an ice skating rink, and we have a whole bunch of letter cards. We have a whole bunch of ice skaters in here. We even have some pets that are ice skating, and so they would pick the card and then write it in the ice rink, and then erase. Again, just a really fun and engaging way to write and build words. We're just trying to make learning fun, right? Again, this one's winter, the other one is summer. In both sets, we also have a letter pack game. One is winter, one is in the summer game set. So, I love letter pack games. So in the summer one, we have kind of like rowing. There's also a sound match in that one. So this is more rowing. And then in the winter games, we have ice skating, and there's like a hockey one and like snowboarding. So what they do is you're gonna get out a dice, and you're gonna get out 2 movers, which can be anything you want it to be. They can be cubes, they can be little people, they can be counters, whatever you want. And they roll the dice. 1, 1, apple. Obviously that would be like a pre-K or a kindergarten friend who would be saying the letter and the sound and the word. They roll the dice, and there's like 3, 1, 2, 3, C. And maybe they don't say the letter sound, or maybe you're using the uppercase yet because they don't know their lowercase yet, and that's okay. So they would just go, you know, C, and then roll the dice again and go to the next letter and try and identify it and say the sound and a word. Again, do whatever they can to whatever ability they are. But I love pack games because it's like they have to practice taking turns, they have to practice waiting, and they also can help each other out if they don't know the letter or the sound, or they're gonna be having lots of conversations, right? Oh, see, that's my name, I'm Carrie, or you know, that's a C, that's in my name, or that, you know, that's the beginning of my name, or oh, Jackie, like that's Jackie over there, like, oh, there's her letter, and they're just gonna be talking about all these great letters and sounds, and it's going to be amazing. And again, just super simple letter path game. There's a letter path game in both the summer and the winter set. Now, everything isn't the same in the summer and the Olympic centers unit. Like this one is just for summer, and there isn't one similar in the winter one yet. I still need to update the winter one. That should be updated sometime this summer and just in time for the Winter Olympics. Okay, so these are all basketballs. I have my basketball nets. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna open one. Again, great fine motor. Pool, one. And they would dunk it in. Sunglasses, 3. They dunk it. Boom. Right? Again, we're opening and we're widening it up. It's really, really working on that fine motor, and it's making it really, really fun and engaging. And you guys, all I'm doing is taping it on some cups. Super, super simple. Pool noodles. I have a whole blog post all about all the different things you can do with pool noodles. You can make you can put out pipe cleaners and they can do sculptures. You can lace them. Obviously, these would be more for the Summer Olympics, right? You can lace them. You can also have them make patterns with them. So orange, green, blue. Orange, green, blue. Or they can just stack them. They can do that too. So again, they can just lace or they can stack them. And all I did was cut them up. That's literally all it is. You can find them at the Dollar Tree. And then I tied a ribbon to the end. They can also just build with them. You can also make a number set. So these are all the dots. And then there are some with the number on them. So they have to count the dots and match them up. Right, and this is a whole set with numbers. You can also do this with letters. So you could do uppercase on one side and lowercase on the other, and they have to match the uppercase to the lowercase. You can also have the letters on here, and they can stack and build their name, J-A-C-K-I-E, and find those letters, or the letters to build their name if they had letters on them. Again, you can kind of do whatever your students need to work on. If they need to work on fine motor, do some kind of fine motor activity with them. If they need to work on counting, then make it into a counting activity. If they need to work on letters, do a letter activity with pool noodles. Okay? And again, you may do different stuff different years depending on what your kiddos or your students need to work on that year. So, and again, there's a whole blog post, and I'll put that in the links. If you go to my blog, pocketofpreschool.com, search pool noodle, and there's literally, I think 20 activities I have that you can do with pool noodles. And I did a whole video, Facebook live video on it, on pool noodle activities. So that's there for you too. All right, moving on. Let's do the block center, and then we'll do math and art/sensory. So for the block center, you want to put out just some fun props, and usually my top shelf on the blocks, the top of my shelf is where I put out all the props that are different for that specific theme. So you can do gold and silver cups. I found these medals at the Dollar Tree in the birthday section. You can put out medals. They also had little trophies, and I typically use these little bowls to put them in. You can also, these are sandbag, sports balls. You can put those out. Sparkly bomb-bombs. And then nets. So this is that netting that fruit comes in. I think these came in them too. But these are fun because they can spread them out. They can make them into a goal. They can put them over. It's like basketball net or a soccer net. So we have netting. And then we have challenge cards. So in the sports STEM I can build, there's this is how many there are. A ton. So there are some that would be great for winter, some that would be great for summer, some that are kind of more general. I can build bleachers, cones, and then there's some that are very sports specific. So a canoe would be rowing, diving board. There's just a ton that they can do and build. And I typically take these and I put them in the block center, or you can put them on a ring, however you have your block center set up. But that way they have a visual on how it looks, because maybe they've never been to an ice rink, or maybe they've never been, you know, to a tennis court, and they're gonna go, oh, it's like a rectangle, and there's a net in the middle, and there's stuff around the outside, or maybe, oh, there's green on the outside, and then there's a fence, right? Depending on how old the kiddo is, the more details they're gonna notice in the pictures. So again, we have to help them visualize all of the things because they are little and they may not have experienced like being at some of these places yet in real life, or like I know I'm from St. Louis and we don't have like a football team anymore. Well, we have like the indoor football league. So we have a football stadium, but like my kiddos have never been to like a sports, like a football game because we don't have a team anymore. So give them some visuals just by adding out some real photos. Okay, I'm surrounded here by all the good stuff. Okay, so we did the block center, and you can also do that too if you have a STEM center with like all the littler manipulatives. You can put all of those out, like these, the challenge cards and some of the props wherever those are, and they can grab those too. You can also use the, if you have any like sports ball mini erasers, that would be perfect too. So this one is a race to the top. So we have some different countries, there's different options, and then there's a dotted option, and what they're gonna do is you're gonna grab a spinner. So this is a great way to explore graphs, and you could tape it on. I know some teachers put a Velcro dot in the middle and then Velcro it, and then they would spin it, and then they would put that one on. Spin it, and I typically have it like matte with the colors of the flag, or they don't have to, whatever you want to do. And then they would see which one gets to the top first. And as they're doing that, they're gonna be like, oh, this one has the most, or this one's in the lead. This one doesn't have any, this one has the least. Oh, this one needs 2 more to get to the top. They're gonna have all these great conversations. Oh, this one's a tie. I wonder which one's gonna come in lead. They're gonna be having all these great conversations about comparing which one is the most and the least, and comparing all the data that they are creating when they're making this graph. And I just get these off Amazon. So yeah, and so much fun. All right. This one is a counting game. This one is in the winter unit. But what I have is a whole bunch of flags from a whole bunch of different countries, and we're kind of doing like a medal count. Obviously this isn't accurate because every year different countries win different medals, but there's a whole bunch, and I just have some beads that are silver, gold, and bronze. Again, if you only have silver, if you only have bronze, whatever works. If you have colors, that's fine too. But they are gonna put that many on the flag, and I just tape the pipe cleaner to the back. Again, we are lacing, counting, and working on all those fine motor muscles at the same time. So fun. And again, this has numbers 1 to 20. If you have 3-year-olds, just put out numbers like 1 to 7. If you have, pre-K, do 1 to 20, or, kindergarten, do 1 to 22. Another game we have, this one is in the Summer Olympics or Summer Games set. So we are making, this is a cyclist activity. So it has the number, and if they can't recognize the number, they can count how many chains there are. 0. And I just put a hole punch in it, and they have to take the chains and make it that long. And chains are great because they have to, use all the little muscles to make the chain. And once they do one, they can do another one, like 13, they could put that underneath, and they would be like, oh, the 13 is longer than the 7. And again, all these great math conversations just because you have a really fun and engaging activity out. This is the summer games set. Again, there's a summer games unit and a winter games unit. This one is summer. This is one of my favorites. This is make a pattern with balance beams. So we have a whole bunch of different gymnasts in here, and they all have different patterns on them. So their job is to copy the pattern and then extend it. Lucky you, I already did it, so you don't have to watch me make the pattern, but any kind of connecting cue would work. So they are just going to extend the pattern on the balance beam, And then, again, this is one of my favorites in the whole set. It's so cute. So much fun. Or they can also make their own. Again, use any connecting cube that you have. That's the summer games unit. All right, there's a shape game in the summer set and in the winter unit. So in the summer unit, it is like a track and field. So we have 2D shapes, and there's one with 3D shapes. So you're gonna have your people, and you can have a dice, and they roll the dice. 2, 1, 2, triangle, and they roll the dice. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, square. And again, you can also use the 3D shapes mat. There also is a black and white option. If they want to dot the ones that they land on, that works too. So this is in the summer set because it's tracks. And then in the winter set, where is my spinner? This one is an ice hockey game set. So you put the spinner on the shapes, they spin it, triangle, and you can either cover it or they can trace it. Rectangle. And again, if you want them to just cover it, you can have them do that too. Whatever you want to do, whatever works for you. And I think, yeah. So there is one with just your basic shapes, and this one is a little bit more challenging because there are more tricky shapes with that one. So again, winter games, summer games, so both have a shape activity with it. This is a accounting game for the summer games because it's soccer. So we have a net, and they have to put the ball in and the number. So they have to match the 10 frame and the number, and then you can also have them put the amount in. So again, numbers 1 to 20. I typically, when I have a game like this, I line the cards up on the table, or they can, and then they have to match so that would be like all the way across, right? Be all the way down the table. Or you can do it like double, like 2 rows. And then they would have to match the soccer balls and match the numbers, and they would have to put the quantity in. So again, we are exploring different ways to represent numbers and counting with one-to-one correspondence. And it comes with numbers 1 to 20. But again, if you have younger students, put out numbers 1 to 5, put out 1 to 10. You can put out 1 to 15. You can put out 1 to 12. You can put out 1 to 20. Put out what is appropriate for that group of kiddos that you have at that time. And then in the winter games, we have these really fun 10 frame mats. There are a whole bunch of different ones. We have there's ice hockey, there's winter hill, there's bobsled, snowboards, ski jumps. So they're a 10 frame mat, and I just made some foil so that way they would trace it. So they could count too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then they can trace it. It's really hard to do upside down. Now I know how they feel, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if you don't have, again, this is just a little ball of foil I made because it's kind of like ice or a snowball, whatever you want it to be. And again, they can just erase with the pom-pom. Okay. I still have sensory and art to show you. Oh, and then for dramatic play, typically when I do the winter games, I typically have an ice rink in the dramatic play center. In the summer, I do bowling alley because that one's really fun. There's a lot of ways you can sneak math into the bowling alley. Okay, Play-Doh time, ready? Oh, and then for science, since both the winter and the summer sports, they have a lot of like ramps, like between like the snowboarding and the skateboarding, there's a lot of ramps. So you could do a ramp study in the science center, or you could do like a study of balls in the science center, which is really like kind of like exploring force. Like, how do things move? Does it roll? Does it not roll? So totally up to you what you do in the science center. But I love doing ramps for Olympics. That's my favorite. And I have that in my store for you if you want to grab it. So here is the Play-Doh tray. So we have tools. I just grabbed out the red and like kind of red and blue ones. I have these stars. They're kind of like that table confetti. And then I have some cookie cutters. So we have a USA map, we have a star, and a circle, which is kind of like the Olympic rings or like a sports ball. We have the medals, and I have them separated so that way if they want to like put this down or kind of like move it around, they can. Or and then if they want to use this kind of like a stamp, they could push it in and then lift it. We also have the netting because this makes a really cool pattern or texture in the Play-Doh. And then we have some Olympic rings that I made with, pipe cleaners. And then we have Play-Doh. So obviously you'd want a bigger ball of Play-Doh, but you can add in glitter. This is like some bigger, chunkier glitter. Because if you add in like any kind of like little stars, when they press it, it'll poke them and that will kind of hurt. So they probably wouldn't want to play with it. So just add in some glitter. I just did silver and gold again because there's silver, gold, and bronze medals. But if you wanted to do like the Olympic colors in your glitter too, that would work too. Again, do whatever works for you. Okay. Oh, sensory. So these are my USA sensory bottles. So this one has like fuzzy pipe cleaners and fuzzy pom-poms in it. And I think I've made this one like 4 years ago and it hasn't rusted. It's still fine. So there's that one. And then this one is rice. I like to do sometimes sensory bottles that are liquid and some are solid. So this one has just rice in it and there's flags in it. That way they can try and move those around. And then this one has stars in it. You can see how they move. And typically, if you want them to move slow, I use water and a mixture of water and glue, like clear glue. But aren't those just mesmerizing? And then I tape the bottles on the top. I have a whole blog post on these if you want more details on how to make them. Oh, this has baby oil in it, sorry. That's why it hasn't rusted. That's why it's very bubbly. Yeah, so these are so fun. Yeah, make some sensory bottles. And again, I made these like 4 or 5 years ago. So I think, yeah, 4 or 5 years ago. So yeah, they last a while. So once you make them, you have them for a long time. All right, sensory. We're gonna keep going. Ooh, I can't reach. So this is a sensory bin you can do. So these are those like paper, what are they? Like the shreds, I guess, that you use when you decorate or like for packaging. I got it from the Dollar Tree, and then what I do is I put scissors in there so that way they can cut it. And then I have jars in there so that way if they want to, they can also just like fill up the jar, because sometimes if you just do cutting, like their hand's gonna get tired and then they're gonna wanna leave the center. So you can put in some kind of jar so they can pull it and then they have to fill it up. And you see all the problem solving happening here? If you put in a lot, it's not gonna go in. If you grab a big hunk, that's not going to work. So they kind of have to problem solve and they have to pull it out. Again, great fine motor and just really, really fun. And then if you want to keep your scissors safe, put like a jar in the corner and put them in. So that way when they grab them, they're not grabbing, because they'll leave them open on accident. They're not grabbing like a blade. So that way they're kind of in here in the corner. Or you can, like, if you have some, like, I know some people put like a command hook on the side of their sensory bin, you can also have them hook them there. So fun. But you could also do, if you don't want to do like a cutting bin, if you think they're not gonna like this, you could also do a sports one, which I have over here. So. And you could do either like winter sports or summer sports. It's stuck. Of course it's stuck. Oh my gosh, okay. So this one's kind of like all of the summer sports. I put in some cups. So we have like the eggs, these open, right? So we have a lot of the summer sports, and we got like football, basketball, baseball, soccer, and then I also put in some mini erasers. These are just beans that I colored with acrylic paint. Put some beans in a bag, put acrylic paint in there, like the permanent paint, shake, 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 and leave them out to dry, and there you go. And then I have little pom-poms, because it's either like little people in the stands or it's like the cheerleaders. And then I threw in some little mini erasers I have, because they may try and like find all of the mini erasers, or maybe they're gonna get the pom-poms, and then put them in the egg and then close them, which again is great, fine motor. I put some measuring scoops in there so they can scoop up and they can fill the cup. And again, I just got these at like the Dollar Tree. And if you have any of these, like candy scoopers, these are from Lakeshore, but I know there's some on Amazon. Maybe they're gonna fill that up. This is the movement of what scissors, right? So that if your kiddos need to work on scissor skills, put these in the sensory table so they can practice that motion. Also, don't forget about putting ladles in the sensory table, because look what I have to do. I have to move my wrists a lot, right? So it's a really great way to build that strength in their wrists, because they have to really move their wrists to get the ladle to dump and go around. These are from IKEA, I think, like in like the kids section, or maybe the regular ones. I can't remember, but. And then if you wanted to do one like this for winter, you could just make all the beans. You could do like blues and like silvers, so they're kind of like ice and snow. And then put in some eggs that are, again, blue and silver. And you can either put stickers on them for each sport, or you can just leave them out. And add some, not mini erasers, add some, the little foil balls that I made, put those in there, put some little pom-poms in there, and see if maybe we could find some like silver cups. And you can, again, you can put stickers on them too for the winter sports. So, or maybe some little like skis, something for skis. Yeah, so there's that. And then art, hold on, I made a mess. And then this is a tried and true one, right? So we have all the Olympic rings. So you're gonna take some paper towel tubes. Don't use toilet paper, because they probably have germs on them and they're gross. So cut some paper towel tubes in half and put them in like a little tray, or you can put like a little bowl in each one, and they're gonna push it in and stamp it. Push it and stamp it. And again, you can keep these if, you know, like take them out of the paint at the end of the day if you're gonna use it again the next day. And then, you know, if you only use it one day, then maybe you'll have it, you know, ready to go for the next year. So yeah, we got some stamping going on. And then the other one you can do is, I know we love marble painting. It's one of our favorites, right? So use Olympic colors. Oh, and what I did for this one was I squirted the paint on, and I think I just happened to do it in circles. That's not why it's a circle. But squirt the paint on your paper, and then you can put in different balls. So you can put in big balls and little balls. And then just shake. And you can also do, if you want like a whole bunch of different ones, you could do ones with like a smooth texture, bumpy texture. These are really fun with a bumpy texture, and it will give you a different kind of pattern, or a different like pattern or texture on your paper. or you can make it fit the theme of whatever Olympics it is. And then the last one I have for you. So, you guys know I love butcher paper activities. So butcher paper activity is an activity that you do on a giant piece of paper. This is a smaller roll, but it works too. So you're going to take your paper, and then you're going to draw the Olympic rings. Hold on, I can't remember. There. I forgot what order they're in. Okay, so we have the red one, and then we have a black one, and a blue one. I think they overlap, but we don't want them to overlap for this activity. And then we have a yellow one. And that marker is a little rough. I need to get a new one. Okay, so we have our Olympic rings, and then you would cut it, right? So this is it. And then you're gonna have them sort. So here are some pom-poms, and I just got them in the Olympic colors. So they're literally gonna sort. What else can you do? You can put tweezers out, and they can sort these with tweezers, right? You can make their rings really, really big, so they really have to like reach. So they're sorting by color. You can also put out a dice, roll 3, 1, 2, 3, and they would have to sort them 1, 2, 3. These are button, like they're stackable counters. Again, any counter that's round would work. Okay, or if you wanted, you could do stickers. So you could put the stickers out. So obviously these are just the blue ones, but you could have them match the stickers on, or you could roll and they could use a dot marker too. So they would roll the dice 3, and then they would dot 3, like 1, 2, 3, and then roll the dice, and then they would, you know, dot that many. So again, totally up to you how you play this game, how you want to do it. You could also use buttons if you have buttons. But yeah, so I think that's it. So I hope you guys loved all of these. I'm just gonna look one more time. Yep, I got them all for you. So I hope you guys loved all of these Olympic themed math and literacy centers. And again, I have 3 center units you can probably use. You can use the summer games set. Or the summer games unit, like the center unit. There's also a winter games center unit. And I also have just sports. If you want to just do all of the sports, whether it's summer or winter, you can just do the sports unit too. So yeah, so there's a ton of stuff in there. And there's also the sports STEM I can build. That's in my store if you want that printable. And then there is the ramps science unit, or the force and motion, all about balls. Science unit 2 you can use for this theme. And there's the freebies, the Olympic, the summer games, the winter game poster, like coloring page is on the blog, so you can grab that. And I think that's it. So I hope you guys loved all of these ideas. If you have any questions, please let us know. If you use any of these, I would love to see what you're doing. So go ahead and tag me or put it in the Facebook group. And yeah, you guys have an awesome day or awesome night, depending on when you're watching, and I will talk to you guys very soon. Bye.